Hello everyone, welcome to civilbrains YouTube channel. So in today's lecture, we will try to understand how to read the beam reinforcement, like what is given in the general drawing. We'll try to learn that, like what is the meaning of L by 3, what is the meaning of L by 7, way to use L by 3, way to use L by 4. We'll discuss on that. Before that, just put it in the comment box, like what kind of foundation is this, and where do we use such kind of foundation. We have different type of foundations, like we have isolated footing, we have combined footing and all, right? So you just comment it in a, put it in the comment box, like what kind of footing is this, and on where do we use such kind of footing. Okay, yeah. Now to begin with, see, you might be familiar with structural drawings. If not, no need to worry. Over the period of time, many videos will come on drawing reading. We'll try to understand. So whenever you get a drawing, no, so for somebody who doesn't know that, see, this is a column what I have. This is one column. This is second column. And then I have, okay, I have one more column in this portion, let us say, okay. And then the one which is connecting in between, this is a beam what I have. This is a beam. This portion is called as beam. This portion is also beam. This portion is also beam. It's a continuous now. So when we are providing a reinforcement, no, so it will tell us this top bar. This you can see this top left extra bar. This top left extra bar has to go up to L by 4 distance. Then this middle on the right side, this bar has to go up to L by 3. This bar has to go up to L by 3. Then this bottom bar, this is bottom curtail bar. So till where you have to curtail, it is written L by 7. Here it is written L by 5. So what is the meaning of this L by 3, L by 5 and all? We'll try to understand. This is one drawing. Along with that, I'll show you one more drawing and then we'll discuss it. This is one more drawing. So even here you can see, now you are able to understand a bit. Here he has written L1 by 4. Here he has written L1 by 3. Here he has written L2 by 3. Again L1 by 5, L1 by 7 and all, right? Fine. So before we understand that, you need to understand one thing, the bending moment diagram of a beam. So if I ask you, which you have studied in your college days, if I ask you, see, I have a beam here. Let's say it's a fixed support, it's a column. Again, one more fixed support, let us say. It's a fixed beam, right? If I ask you to draw the bending moment diagram of this, how you're going to draw? Definitely, I'll be experiencing a negative bending moment here. Then at the center, it will turn into a sagging bending moment. Then again, it will turn into a negative bending moment. So this is negative, which I call it as a hogging bending moment. It's called as a sagging bending moment. Your beam is going to sag down. This is called as hogging bending moment. Your beam is trying to lift up. So same thing, you can observe it here also. I have one column here. Agree with me? I have one column here. I have one more column here. I have one more column here, right? So it's a continuous span. Now, if I ask you, you all are engineers, if I ask you to draw the bending moment diagram of this, what will happen? You'll say, sir, this is a negative bending moment. It will go like this. From negative, it will turn into sagging bending moment. Then again, it will go into a negative bending moment, sir. Then again, it will turn into a sagging bending moment. And then it will go as a negative bending moment, right? So this portion will try to lift up. That is called as negative here, hogging. It's positive, which will try to sag down. This entire thing is negative, positive, and negative, right? Fine. So if you see here, this particular top extra bar, what I have provided, this one, this has been extended up to this portion only. That is called as L by 4. Why? Because beyond this point, this is no more a hogging bending moment from here. It is turning into a sagging bending moment. Since it is turning into a sagging bending moment, there is no point in extending this particular bar further, because your this point is called as point of contraflexion. This point is called as point of contraflexion PC. Okay. So from here, your bending moment is changing either from negative to positive or positive to negative. It has gone into a positive bending moment. Again, after this point, again, this is your point of contraflexion. From here, your bending moment is again changing from positive to hogging bending moment. So that is why again you can see we have provided top extra bar here, which will go L by 3. Same holds good here also, which will go up to L by 3. So you understood the concept. This is the main concept behind this, right? Now the next question is, sir, why don't you provide L1, L by 4, L by 4 everywhere? Why you have to do all this L by 3, L by 3 and all these things? So reason is very simple. For that, we have to refer our code book. So this is our code book, that is SP34. So here they have given the simplified curtailment rule for a continuous beam. Here they have told us this is what you are supposed to follow. Now, usually what happens? So there's something called as continuous support and discontinuous support. For example, I have one support here. I have another support here. I have another support here. Then in between that, what is happening? We have a beam running, right? This is one beam. This is another beam. So if I take this beam as an example, this beam, I have one end here, then the other end is here. So, but this end is called as your what you call yeah 1 minute. What end we call it as end support? Yeah. So this is called as end support because if you see this column on the left side, I don't have any other beam. It's an end column here, right? It's an end support here. But if you look at this particular column, on this column on the left side, I have a beam. Agree with me? On this column on right side also I have a beam. So it's a continuous one. Since it's a continuous one, what will happen is here, this bending moment will be like this here. It will not experience, okay, let me put it like this. Here it will not experience much negative bending moment. Only up to this point it will experience. Then it will turn into a sagging bending moment. Since the beam is continuous in this portion, it will experience a higher amount of negative bending moment here. Then again it will turn into sagging bending moment. Then again it's a small bending moment. So this is a portion where your bending moment is maximum. So this particular point, no, this one up to here, this extension is more. From here the extension is more. Since the extension is more, that is why what we do is at the center portion, wherever we have continuous support, there we go up to L/3 and L/3. That's it. But whereas this support is a discontinuous support, means for this column, I don't have any other beam running in this direction. Since there is no beam running in this direction, what will happen is the extent of this bending moment will be up to L/4. That is what people have seen it over the period of time. And even if you want, you can exactly find this location with help of ETABS software by hovering your cursor. But for every beam, I cannot do that. So what I've done is I fixed it saying that wherever there is a discontinuous end, you take your top extra bar up to L/4. Wherever you have continuous support, go up to L/3 and L/3. Understood the concept? So this is a concept. Same concept, you can see it even here also. Now you see this one, this one, this one, correct? So this is discontinuous support. There is no beam here. So he has gone for L/4. Here it's a continuous. I have beam here. I have beam here. So it has gone up to L/3 and L/3. Okay. Now in some drawing, what they do, instead of writing L/4, they write it as 0.25. You might have seen that. Instead of L/4, he'll write it he will write it as 0.25 into L. Few people write that. It's one and the same. Why it is one and the same? So what is 1/4? So 1/4, what is L/4? What is L/4? So L/4 is equal to, can I write it as 1/4 into L? Exactly. So this, what is 1/4? 1/4 means 0.25 into L. So this is what you will find in the drawing. Few people will write it as 0.25. Few people will write it as L/4. It's one and the same. What is L/3? Same. L/3 I can write it as 1/3 into L. 1/3 is 0.33. So you can write it as 0.33 into L, or you can write it as L/3. Same thing, they have written it here. So if you come to this particular drawing, here they have written it like this. Okay. Of course, here he has written it as 0.25. No problem. You can even go for L/4 here also. But what few people practice is they go for L/3 because this particular code is written here. The difference between this span and this span shall not be more than 15%. But sometimes when the distance between the two span, okay, if it is more than 15%, then you refer your ETABS result. So based on that, you can give the L/3. But even if it is a big span and all, people go for L/3 and L/3. Understood? Now, coming to the bottom portion. Again, bottom, same concept. Again, here what happens is, again, it's a discontinuous support. Since it's a discontinuous support, what will happen is, this will be like this. Okay, fine. So that is why here we'll not experience much what you call sagging bending moment. So that is why we'll curtail the bar up to this point. So it's a discontinuous support. You don't have any beam running here. So what I'll do the curtailment up to L/7. So what is L/7 now? So right, what is L/7? L/7 is 0.15 if I'm not wrong. Let me do that. L/7 is 1 divided by 7. So it is 0.14. So 0.14, people will write it as 0.15. So that is why in few of the drawing, you will find it as 0.15. And if you see here he has given 0.1 into L, but that is fine because again, they have given it from the center here. This distance is given from the center. Whereas in this particular drawing, he has given it from the face, L/7. But generally, you can take it as 0.15. Few people even give 0.2 also sometime. Okay. But usually 0.2, they give it near the support because it's a continuous support here. Bottom, you have a beam here also, you have a beam here. What is L/5? L/5 is 0.2. So you can take 0.2 and 0.2 here. Got it? This is the entire concept behind all these things, nothing else. That is, few people write it as 0.2, few people write it as L/5, few people write it as L/7, few people write it as 0.15. The meaning remains the same. Same thing if you refer here also, he has given L/7, L/5, L/5, L/7 and all. Got it? So whatever they are writing, they have taken all these things from this particular code book. Got it? That's it. So this was all about this particular lecture where I've explained you what is the meaning of this L/4, L/3 and all those things. And if you want the next lecture, I can explain you how to read these drawings and all, so that you'll get a wonderful knowledge. Got it? Yeah. And just 1 minute. So whatever you are seen there, practically this is how we do the execution. So if you see a beam here, this is what we have done. L/4, let us say. So you can see this extra bar here. This is your L/4. From here it will go up to L/4. From here it will go to L/4. Got it? This is called as top left extra bar and top right extra bar. Now one question may come, sir, why that bar is in the second layer? Why this bar is in the second layer? Now here there is no bottom curtail bar. What is bottom curtail bar? I'll show you one bar here. So here this is one more drawing. This is one more site image. Here you can see they have given a bottom curtail. This bar is called as a bottom curtail. From this to the center will leave 0.L/7. From the face of this bar up to this will leave L/7. And if it is a continuous support, we'll leave L/5, which we had seen in the drawing, right? So same whatever is there in the drawing, no, we do the execution of all these things on the construction side, right? You're getting my point? So this is about all these things. You can see here, he has shown one bar here, right? And it's written bottom straight bar of span, he has written, and this is extra bottom steel for span, extra, or you can call it as a curtail bar. Getting my point? That's it. So again, coming to the last thing, see, if you really want to learn all these things in a better way, because it's not possible to explain everything in a one single video. So that is why I have made a course for all these things. I have a 50+ hours of the course where I teach you the entire execution right from the zero level. So all the PPT, what you can see, this is how I teach. We have taken all the practical site lectures, practical site videos, and I'll be teaching you each and everything practically from the construction side. These are the ramp construction, how the ramp construction will be done. Okay, there will be some brainstorming sessions as well. So whatever I taught you here, all those things, I will show you practical images like this. And through this, we'll try to cover an entire basement plus ground plus a 3-story apartment construction. This is how the entire course will flow. So if you're really interested, yeah, just a minute. So if you're really interested to learn all these things, definitely download my civilbrains app. So I've given you a free course for 7 days. Make use of it. I've covered good topics here. I've explained you about my lectures are available both in Hindi and English language, whichever you're comfortable. I've given 30 lectures on site execution. I've explained you about drawing reading. I've explained you about bar bending schedule, 𝗘𝗃 and some PEB execution. Make use of this opportunity. And if you feel my content is good, you're able to connect to me, you're able to follow what I'm telling, definitely enroll in my complete courses where we will learn everything from the scratch. And after this course, you will be in the position to go and compete with someone having 2+ years of experience. That is a confidence what I have on me. That is a confidence what I deliver in my course. And you can see almost 596 students have enrolled in this particular courses. And I'll show you reviews also, because these are the reviews. If you go through all these reviews, right? So these are the students who enrolled in my course. He has got a job in PSP with a 4.2 lakh package. This guy got a job for 8 lakh package. This guy recently got a 7.5 lakh package in a DMart company as an assistant manager. One more student got with 1 year of experience got a 7 lakh package. So in this way, you see a lot of reviews given by the student. So that's it. So if you like the content, definitely subscribe to my channel, download my app, and enroll in a free course. In the next lecture, we'll try to see other lectures. Maybe we can even try to cover the other part of this drawing. I have just explained to you about the beam part. So we have something called as column part. We can cover even the column part. Then we can even try to understand the slab reinforcement and all these drawings, like the footing drawing, we can try to understand. We can even try to understand the entire general nodes and all. So that's it. I'll see you back in the next lecture. Thank you.